Hello everyone, it's Kristina from Kristina's Art Corner. How are we doing today? This is going to be my second day of coloring in this book, 24 Days Till Christmas by Coco. And this is the page that I did for the first one. I'll have to tell you a little a post story. Literally a post story. So I had decided to do shorts, YouTube shorts for these, because I thought since I'm going to do 24 videos already in the month, why not make them shorts? And I've done shorts before. You know, it's easier to upload them from your phone, but you've got to like splice video, and it took me like an hour and some to do this one yesterday. And so I went through all the parts of speeding up the video to make it a speed color and so on and so forth to get it short enough for a short, which has to be a minute or less. I wound up doing that through my regular software that I use, and I uploaded it. You'll have to excuse my throat. I'm always got allergies in the morning. And so I uploaded it, and it wound up not being in short form. And sorry to some of you that actually watched it and commented on it. I decided to persevere and make it a short anyway. So I went ahead and looked up on YouTube, educational YouTube, on how to upload it from my PC rather than my phone, because all of the editing and everything was already on my PC. I went ahead and did that, and then uploaded it as a short, and there was a lot involved in that, but I won't go into that detail too, because I want to get started. But I wanted to share with you, because I was going to put on a community post, but it's too long to explain. So anyway, after all of that, of course, I uploaded the short, and I did post it on Instagram, so that was fine. But I woke up like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was already really awake. I've been having some shoulder problems I'll talk to you about while I'm coloring this, but I got a notification from YouTube that they took down my video, my shorts video, and so now we have no video from my first page. So anyway, so yeah, the way you condense, at least the way that I do, like if I do an hour of coloring, I go into my software and like speed it up to like 3,000 or 2,500 times. And then that narrowed it down to 7 minutes, but then I've got to narrow it down to 1 minute. So after all this rigmarole, we're here today in long form until I can figure out the best way that I can upload a short. But the way I had done it is gone into Canva, which is an app that I use very often. It's where my intros come from, my outros. And that can be the only reason why that my video got taken down, because certainly coloring a Christmas page content is not in violation of any policy. So it must be the template or something that I used. And then it makes you wonder if those apps are giving you templates and things like that that quote unquote are not safe to use for a YouTube short, then you think they wouldn't be able to offer it. But long story short, I decided not to fight it because it winds up only being a 40-second, video. And I just thought, today, let's go ahead and have a little color and chat, if you don't mind. I won't be able to do one every day, a long form video, but we're here today to do this one. So let's go ahead and get started after that very long explanation. But it's always disappointing to have a video taken down. Doesn't even matter the reason, really. Plus the music that I put in there is all copyright free, so it wasn't a copyright strike. But anyway, all right. So what I did is I cut a plastic sheet the size of this page so that I don't have bleed through. I did bleed through on this page here, and I don't want to have, I did have a sheet underneath it, but I went over that green a couple of times and it bled through. All right, so let's think of a plan here. I have a sheet here, so I'm just going to, I've got my Ohuhu chart here. I'm going to use Ohuhu markers. I've got this chart here, and then I have these two sets that Ohuhu very nicely had sent to me here of all of my swatches. But I have a big organizer that you can't see in front of me, and I put all of them in color order by this. All right, so I just want to try to get the right, and these are so small and tiny and worn, so I can't read them. This is a hot mess, so I appreciate any of you that are going to watch this. I send you all my love and appreciation for it. All right, so we could do, what kind of brick do we want to do? I think I'll start out with a dark yellow here. That's what we'll do for that. I'll put these over here. And my washi tape. Okay. So that was our YR1. So I can go in here. I'm going to use the brush end. Now, I'll tell you in these books that these markers bled like crazy on my first one. I love to use Teo Tree and things like this, but I let my granddaughter use them. And she has them in her house. So I had a bleed through here on her neck. And I'll just show you. Look. So, and then I also had bleed through on her hands, and I had to go over it with acrylic. So, yeah. Some things just wind up being a hot mess, and you just got to go with it. So, we'll start out here with this. And try not to have any oopsies to fix, because it's such a pain when you have to do that. So let's talk a little bit. Oh, see, there's already bleed through in there. That's okay. The bricks are going to be darker. I try not to go all the way up to the edge, or like put dots. That's one of the tricks. That bled through here too, you see. This paper just, boy. Plus when the Oohoo markers are new, they're so juicy, which is a great thing, but when you're working in Amazon paper or really thin paper, you just get crazy amount of bleed through. Okay, so I was going to talk about my completed pages. Thank you for all of your lovely comments. A lot of you enjoy when my granddaughter comes on those and leave really sweet comments about wanting to see more of her coloring and her art projects. She has an immense amount of enthusiasm for coloring, and anything art or creative. She does diamond paintings. And the night that we did the video for the completed pages, because I do my portion first, and then we do the one together in a separate sitting. So she came over with her book bag, and she folded up her diamond painting and put it in the box to show me the progress that she made on it. It was so cute. But yeah, she definitely loves coloring, and I'm happy for a couple of reasons. Kids today have a hard time not being on electronics, and I know from the parents' perspective, it's hard to keep them off of it. My daughter does her best to do that, but everything is just, I mean, including their schoolwork, it's done on computers too. So you fight their urge. There's some bleed through into the bow. You could just see it glide right in there. That's okay. It can be covered with glitter. Anyway, so I'm grateful that she has something that she can rely on other than electronics to pass her time as a young person. By the way, I don't tell her age just for privacy reasons. There's a lot of strange things that go on in the interwebs related to children, so I don't. I'd love to tell you all about her, and my other grandchildren, because I have 3. But it's just not the right thing to do, I don't think, on YouTube. I know there's like family vloggers and things like that. It's just crossing a thin line, I think, you know. Anyway. Okay, so we got that initial brick portion done. Let's see here. We have the mantle to do. I could do that in a dark brown. let's see, as far as a darker brown goes, I could do the raw umber, or let's see here. I've got some, let's see here. I've got this, yeah, I think we'll go with let's go with the E430 and see. Yeah, that's dark. Let's go with a dark mantle. Okay, now I'll talk a little bit about the reason why, another reason why I wanted to do shorts was I am having tremendous shoulder problems. In 2019, it was for several years prior to 2019, I started having shoulder pain. And it was a lot when I was sleeping. And I was doing different kind of creative art things. I was creating my own acrylic original artwork, and I did acrylic pours. There was a lot of mixing, and started to not be able to do it because of my shoulder. And I also have a neck issue that's actually winds up being a brain disease that's not curable. So I do always have a level of neck pain. I work through all of that, and I get treatment for it. It's not a cure, but I do get some treatment, some relief for a few weeks every 3 months. So when my shoulder issue happened, I just thought it was related to my neck because my shoulders wind up hurting with my neck issue. Well, I finally went to a doctor in 2019, and they did x-rays. And what they saw in the x-rays made them want to do an MRI. So they did the MRI, and I wound up having this irregular shaped cyst. And so they wanted to do surgery. I also had a fully torn rotator cuff and some other issues. They had to shorten my clavicle. Anyway, so yes, it led to surgery. But I was referred to an oncologist because they thought it was the cyst that was in there. They thought was cancerous because of its shape. It was an irregular shaped cyst, and it was large. So we went ahead, went to the oncologist, and he says, well, you're going to need surgery anyway. Let's see what the surgical pathology is. So I had the surgery, and they took out the cyst, and it wound up being the size of an orange. The MRI could not get the full length and width of the cyst. So it was large. Imagine having an orange in your shoulder space. But thank goodness it was benign. It wound up being a humongous ganglion cyst. So I had the surgery. They repaired my rotator cuff. They got rid of the cyst, and they were not able to repair my torn bicep. The tissue was just damaged so badly. So I think I might go ahead and do the brown. No, I'm going to switch the brown. I take that back. I think I want to do I think I want to do a different color, come to think of it. I do kind of this color. Okay. This is the E130. This is the copper. So, okay. So I had the surgery, long recovery. That's a painful surgery to recover from. Anyway, I get through that, and that was in 2019. And then in 2020, a year later, started having more problems. And they did tell me that the cyst can grow back, by the way. So it's been in the back of my mind. I'm just going to try to stop the bleeding. I might have to do another coat anyway, but anyway. All right. It's hard to talk in color. I find it very hard. Anyway, there's going to be a lot of anyways and so's. So I go back to the orthopedic, and he's like, you have inflammation in there. Let's give you some injections. Everything looked good on the x-ray. Don't want to put you through another MRI. It's all good. So let me just do this while I'm thinking of it. Let me just get this another coat before I get stained lines here. Let me just hurry up, and then I'll come back to my story. See how I'm just tapping in there? Because look how quickly that bleeds. And very tricky around this holly here. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's hurry up and do this side, and then I'll take a pause and I'll update you before I go to the other side. Oh, one more. Okay. Now let's go back. I'm going right over that other brown. Okay. All right. Looking good so far, I think. And I think I'll just carry that same brick color down here. All right. So 2020, I had an injection. 2021, I had to go back, have more injections. And now I've made an appointment to go back again. But the pain is pretty severe. It's very similar to what I had prior to my surgery. So I'm a little worried that that cyst could have grown back. I'm trying not to manifest that, but it is a true concern. And getting all these cortisone, I've had to take steroids quite a bit for other reasons. I'm worried about bone loss as I get older. Don't have any yet, but I know with all the steroids that that's a possibility. So long story short, pun intended. That's why I was trying to do YouTube shorts for these, for this Advent calendar. But you know, sometimes when you're busy coloring and you have a YouTube channel, you don't necessarily take the time on other technology, other ways of doing it, because you just don't have the time. And I try to make the time, honestly, because, you know, I don't want to be behind the 8 ball. And if something can be easier for me and just as easy for you all to see and enjoy, it makes sense to do it. But yeah, then it's frustrating to have a video taken down. So if for any reason I don't do a video every day, I will post to Instagram. It's hashtag 24xmas pages. in case you're interested in joining. I know several of you have, and I love all of your pictures. Looks like we bled over there. I'm going to quickly do a yellow background like I did before on the previous page. I liked that. And see if I can't. No, that's too dark. Let's see, that was mustard and nugget. Oh, that one's a good one. I'll go with that one. They're very much the same. They'll go with the nugget. Nugget Y140. And let me start it over here, so I can try to see if I can fix this issue here with the bleed through. Let's see if that'll work. I'm telling you, these markers are giving me a time. And whenever you have any kind of like mistake or error, you gotta quickly move and not let your other section dry out. Okay. And I dropped the lid. Okay. I'm going to give this a little border. I don't really want that yellow coming all the way down to the floor. Let's fix that too. This is a lot of brown for your girl Kristina here. I like bright colors. But we'll make the presents and stuff bright, so. No worries there. All right. Let's go back to this. And I'm going to have to come down over what I already did to try not to get a line. So yeah, anyway, I'm headed back to the orthopedic on the 8th, I believe I go. And I'd be lying if I'm not nervous. Always can be worse though, right? Always can be. So if it's an injection that will help, I'll do it. Just trying to be mindful of the fact that putting a bunch of steroids in your body isn't the greatest idea. And I don't rest my arm enough. So I'm probably not a good patient. Because of that, I'm going to go over these bubbles. Because I can put acrylic or glitter on those. Gonna give this paper a run for its money. All right, so that looks like that's chimney, so I need to do that different. And actually I can go right over that star. In fact, I already did. So I have a hat on today. So we're actually supposed to be up to like 64 today, which is like 15 degrees warmer than the usual. Probably could have created a glow. I still can. But my hair was a mess and I wanted to do this video, so I was like, oh, let's just throw it up in a bun and put a hat on, because sometimes when I lean in, you can see the top of my head, and if I haven't done my hair properly, you're gonna see a mess, especially first thing in the morning, even after I brush it, because I have that kind of hair. Okay, so we want to go back to our original browns. All right, so this was the base. That's the copper. So I think I'm going to do the dark first. And I will try not to get too much in that bubble. I'm not sure why there's bubbles in this, but we'll try to respect it there. So when I use my Teo tree markers for this, they don't bleed as badly. And that's why I prefer to use them in the Amazon books. I like to use my Ohuhus for paper that can stand the vibrancy and also the leakage. It just really spreads quick. So I had a problem yesterday. From her pants, I'll show you. Her pants bled into her hand. Her hand was blue, so then I had to go over with acrylic. These bubbles I'm not going to worry about. And I probably don't need to worry about this design either. Yeah, we're bleeding in there anyway. That's okay. I have a bunch of Coco books that I bought along my coloring journey. This is one of the reasons why I don't color in them very often. But I really wanted to do this advent calendar. Yes. Okay. Try to get the same tone as the bottom. When I go to edit my videos, usually takes a lot longer than the video footage. I do enjoy the process, video editing, but these things do take a lot of time. So I was trying to shorten it a little bit. Okay. All right. So we have that part done so far, and I'm going to let that dry. It looks like I've got some bleed through. I'm going to have to clean my marker sheet because I've got some bleed through. When I clean my marker sheet and back, I just use alcohol. And that's what I'm going to have to do because it's I'm getting the color that's underneath back onto my page. Okay, let me go off camera and fix. You can see I've got some stains on there. Let me be right back. Okie dokie, see, it's nice and clean. So we don't have to worry about the smudgy factor. There's our back. Okay, I'm just gonna let that dry a little longer and maybe do some of the details in here. But first, I missed a couple of spots. Right here. And here. Okay. So let's go ahead and do some of these goodies. Okay, let's see if you can see what I've got here and still get you in. Okay, so, and here I have my dual metallic, my Pentel dual metallic. I have my Uniballs. I have my glitter pens and my favorite paint brushes. And then I've got these Spectrum Noir metallic flip markers, these Pentel dual metallic brush, Ohuhu glitter markers, and then these XSG markers that I got from Temu. And we can start out with those and let some of the alcohol marker dry. Okay. So this looks like a good green for the holly. Just gonna go in there. And this is the best to cover up any bleed through on the marker end. Okay, here is our final page finished. I put 3 different mini borders on here. So there we are. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you in tomorrow's. Merry Christmas to everyone who celebrates. Happy holidays. And please go ahead and give a like and subscribe if you want to. And I will see you in the next video. You all take care. Happy coloring. Bye-bye.